Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Newmarket Racecourse here on Saturday. It is May the 4th, 2019. It's 2000 Guineas Day from Newmarket, and I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the program, including the Guineas. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And remember to check out my other big video of the day, the other big race for the 3-year-olds today in the world in Kentucky. It's the Kentucky Derby, and I did a full preview of all the runners in that race. My preview video is up here on YouTube, so go check that out, and also check out my Punchestown preview for today, and join me tomorrow for my 1000 Guineas preview video, and join me next week for the May Festival from Chester. I love that festival. But today's card from Newmarket's very good. I think the Guineas is a very good race this year. Too bad Too Darn Hot's not running in it, but I still think it's a very good race here, and I think you can make some money here at Newmarket today. So we're going to look at the stakes races 2, 3, 4, and 6. So the 220, the 255, the feature 335, and the 445. So let's get on to it. Second race, the 220, will be dashing here. The second race, the 225, or excuse me, the 220, it is the Group 3 Palace House Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $77,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the Rolly Mile Turf course. Top selection, I'm going to go to the 4-horse Equilateral. I'm going to go 4-11-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 4-11-1 Tri-Cash Trifecta. If you're going to play the place pot here, I would definitely use the 11-horse Sergi Prokev, also the Aidan O'Brien Colmore horse. I think, a 3-year-old hasn't won this race in 10 years, but I think as a 3-year-old he can beat these horses here, and I'll use him there if I play the place pot. Or, if you play it, you should use it. But as a top selection, I would go with the 4-horse Equilateral. Ocean Murphy gets leg up for Charlie Hills, 4-year-old colt by Iguano. The horse's most recent outing came the 17th of April at Newmarket. 6 furlongs in the Group 3 Ambernet Stakes, and the horse finished 4th by 2 lengths there. He had a little bit of a turn of foot second off the break, but he still needs to get that good rolling at the end. I think 5 furlongs with a quick pace in front of him, I think it will suit up for a runner like him, and I think he'll run well. I think he's run his better races at the 5 furlong journey. Before that, he ran at Doncaster 6 furlongs and listed stakes on the opening meeting, and he finished 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths. And as the favorite, he never weakened out of it, but he never quickened out of it either. He just kind of stayed the trip. And then before the Dundalk on the 19th of October, 5 furlongs in the Group 3 Mercury Stakes, he finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. The winner hit the bid I backed so many times this winter in Maydon. He ran absolute crap, but that day Dundalk, he ran a hell of a race. His horse, he just couldn't keep up there. And then Newbury last September, 5 furlongs in the Group 3 Dubai International Airport Trophy Stakes, finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. He kind of just never got into it. It wasn't his day to win. And then his last victory came at Leicester in a 5 furlong conditions race on firm ground. He won by 1 3/4. He quickened up nice. He had a very good race. They're going to go quite fast here, and I think it's, like I said, I think it's going to suit off towards a runner like him. At 10-1, good post draw on the stand side. I'll take him. So to recap my selection for the second, the 220 from Newmarket, it's the Group 3 Palace House Stakes. We'll go with the 4-horse Equilateral. I'll go 4-11-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta, 4-11 in the place pot. So now let's get to race number 3, the 255 from Newmarket. It is the Group 2 Roaring Lion Jockey Club Stakes. It's a Group 2 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $128,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses, going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. Top selection, I'm going to use the 6-horse Coronet. I think she could beat the boys here, so I'll go 6-5-2 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 6-5-2 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 6-horse Coronet. Frankie Dettori's on this John Gosden trained 5-year-old mare by DuBowie. Her most recent outing came the 20th of October at Ascot, a mile and a half in the Group 1 British Champions Filly Mare Stakes. She finished second by a length behind Magical, who ran a magical run next start out, but decent second place finish next start out. But this horse, she just stayed the trip. Probably didn't like the wet ground. She had a little bit of turn of foot, but she didn't like the ground. I think with the firmer ground here today, good to firm ground, she'll run a very good race. Before that, at York on the 23rd of August, mile and a half in the Group 1 Yorkshire Oaks, she finished second by 2.5 lengths behind Seeded Class, who I thought ran a good race in the York next start out. But this horse again had a great turn of foot, ran well there, and then at in the King George at Ascot, a mile and a half on July 28th, finished third by 9 1/4 lengths behind Poet's Word. And I thought, as a mare finishing third in that race, she ran quite well again. And then she ran the Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud a mile and a half July the 1st. She had a very good second place finish behind Waldgeist, who was a very good horse, won this past week. week in at Longchamp in the Prix Guineas. But again, this horse, he just missed at the end, but she ran well. She loves the mile-and-a-half trip. She loves firm ground. She's going to get both today, and I think she's going to run a big race. Only problem that sucks with her today is she's 8-5. Not a lot of value with her, but I think she could win here, so I'll take her. So to recap my selection for the third, the 255 from Newmarket, it's the Group 2 Jockey Club Stakes. Let's go with the 6-horse Coronets. I'm going to go 6-5-2 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. So let's get to the featured fourth race, the 335 from Newmarket. It is the Group 1 2,000 Guineas. It's a Group 1 race going for a purse of $670,500. Race for 3-year-olds here. A field of 19 horses going 1,600 meters or 1 mile down the historic Rolly Mile Turf Course. My top selection here, I'm going to go to the other Aidan O'Brien horse, the horse that nobody's been talking about this week, the 10-horse Magna Grecia. I'm going to go 10-1-18 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 10-1-18 Tri-Cash Trifecta. In the place pot, or 2 horses I think can definitely get a piece of it, it would be the 10-horse Magna Grecia, like I said, and I think Advertise get a piece of it also, so I'll use those. I'll do a nice small each-way wager on him, but the top selection, 10-horse Magna Grecia. She can be outside post draw, but I think she could overcome it. Danica O'Brien gets the leg up. Aidan O'Brien trains this one for the Coolmore Group 3, called by Invisible Spirit. I think this horse will like the mile journey. The most recent outing came 27th of October at Doncaster on good to soft yielding ground, 1 mile in the Group 1 Bertram Futurity Trophy Stakes, Race Post Trophy basically, and the horse won by head. She sat on the front end throughout, had a great turn of foot, and held on quite demanding ground. It was a very good run. Before that, though, ran here at Newmarket, 1 mile in the Group 3 Autumn Stakes, and the horse finished second by a neck behind Persian King, who's going to be running next Sunday in the Longchamp in the French 2,000 Guineas, who I think is actually the best 3-year-old in Europe, as for that Persian King. But this horse, he ran quite fast on the front, and he just couldn't get to it at the end. Didn't have that good turn of foot, but he still ran well there against, I think, the best 3-year-old in Europe. Behind, well, he's probably better, because and I would say second best is Too Darn Hot, even though Too Darn Hot hasn't started yet as a 3-year-old, but that's for another day. But this horse ran quite well against him, and then before that he ran in the 7 furlongs in main race, won by 3.5, and he just went away with it. He's gonna like the firm ground today. If he's gonna win, he's gonna have to slow it down on the front. If he sits closer, slows it down, and he saves enough in the tank for the final furlong and a half, I think he get a really good run, and I think he get a piece of it. So at 4-1, I'll definitely use him, along with the 1-horse Advertise, 3-year-old Colt by Showcasing. Frankie Dettori's on this one for Martin Mead. Like I said earlier, Too Darn Hot, I think it's the second best 3-year-old in Europe. He was pointing towards this race. I liked him a lot since his run at Sandown in the Solaria Stakes in September. When he was withdrawn 2 weeks ago, I was kind of sad, and probably wonder what Frankie Dettori felt like, and John Gosling, I wonder how sad they were. But Frankie Dettori got the mount on this one. I think this horse could definitely get a piece of it. His most recent outing came here at Newmarket in the 7 furlong Dewhurst Stakes last October, and he finished second by 2.75 lengths behind Frankie Dettori and Too Darn Hot. Ocean Murphy was up that day. This horse, he had a good turn of foot. He closed up well against a very good horse there, and then the Curra 6 furlongs in the Phoenix Stakes, the horse won by half length, and again sat close on, had a good turn of foot and went very nicely. And then here at Newmarket on the July course in the Group 2 July Stakes, the horse won by 2 lengths and again won very nicely, and then finished second again behind a Gosden Dettori horse at Royal Ascot in the Group 2 Coventry Stakes. It finished second by a length behind Calix, who won this past week at Ascot very impressively. I would point him towards the St. James Palace, not the Commonwealth, but that's for another day. But this horse, he ran quite well behind a good horse. So he's running good around behind these good horses here. He's going to like the 1 mile trip. He has a good mid-pack poster, and I think at 7-1 he could definitely get a piece of it. So he's going to get a nice little each-way wage from me here also. Frankie Dettori, he was on the favorite. He's not on the favorite now, but like I said, I think he could still get the victory here, so I'll use this horse also. So to recap my selection for the fourth, the 335 from Newmarket, to feature Group 1 2,000 Guineas. As a top selection, I'll use the 10-horse Magna Grecia. I'll go 10-1-18 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. That's the top 3 basically, but I'll also do a very nice little each-way wager on the 10-horse Magna Grecia, and also the 1-horse Advertise. I think he can get a piece of it also. So now let's get to race number 6, to 445. from Newmarket. So we're going to head over to the 445, which is the Newmarket Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $64,000. Race for 3-year-olds. Colton Gelbing's only field of 4 horses, only going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the Rolly Mile turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Walk in the Sand. I'm going to go 4-2 in the Forecast Exacta. 4-2 Forecast Exacta. Top selection of 4-horse Walk in the Sand. The Strio Colt by Footsteps in the Sand. Ryan Moore picks up the mount for Richard Hannon. The horse's most recent outing came on 16th of April at Newmarket during the Craven meeting. A mile and 8th, 1,800 meters in the listed stakes. The horse finished second by a neck. He had a decent turn of foot. He just missed at the end, but he closed up well. I think, pointing to the horse to the mile and a quarter trip today is the right thing, and I think that extra furlong, he should really get something going. I think he'll really run well. Before that, the horse ran the 19th of September at Sandown, 7 furlongs on Class 3 conditions. The horse won by 2 1/4 lengths and just had a great explosive turn of foot and won quite well. A very good run there. And then at Sandown, 31st of August on good to soft yielding ground, 7 furlongs enough Class 5 main. The horse finished second by nose. Just missed at the end, but again ran quite well. I thought this horse has run 3 good races. I think the mile and a quarter trip for the first time or the mile 2 furlong trip for the first time should really suit this one, and I just think he'll run well. So 5-2, I'll take him. He's not the best price in the world, so let's hit the Forecaster Exact to make some extra money with this race. So here's my Exacta to recap my selection for the 6th, 445 from Newmarket. The Newmarket Stakes. Let's go with the 4-horse Walk in the Sand. I'll go 4-2 in the Forecast Exacta. So collect 12. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.